The 2005 leaked Trump video is bringing on even more headlines. The repercussions are getting crazier. There's the fallout for Billy Bush. And also, what do Beyonce and 50 Shades of Grey have to do with Trump's video?
What does it have to do with it? Tell us.
So, right after the video came out, a congressman or a former congressman came to Trump's defense and actually tweeted out, if women are so outraged by Trump's dirty talk, then who the hell bought the 80 million copies of 50 Shades of Grey? Grow up. I just want to get, what are your initial reactions to that?
It's not about dirty talk. That's the wrong, we're not mad because it's dirty talk. We're mad because it is talking about assaulting a woman.
And it's different because it's a fictional book, and that book doesn't even have that word in it, and I'm so happy that the author spoke out.
I am so, you know what, and I'm not surprised. This morning I was watching CNN. They went off and interviewed a bunch of Trump supporters, and multiple men said, what's the big deal? I don't understand what people are so upset about. Hello? Like, why? This is supposed to be our future president.
What's worse is it's women. Now women are saying, I support Trump. He was just being a man, speaking like men do in a man's world.
They're just saying, oh, it's locker room talk. But my problem with locker room talk is this guy, no matter if he is or isn't, he's in the position to be a role model right now because he is in a position to potentially be a president, and a president role model does not speak locker room talk for anyone to hear.
And he wasn't in a locker room, he was at work.
And it was shocking because now women are really coming out and saying, he did this to me, oh heck no. And they didn't come out earlier because I feel like I don't know, for whatever reasons they didn't.
Well, it happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, but now that they hear him say, oh no, I never did this, and that was the perfect moment to say, oh yes, you did.
Or it's the kind of thing where women don't realize that they are not alone. They're like, oh, this was probably a lone incident, or oh, I was probably at fault. And now it's like, oh, all this stuff is coming out about him.
all over again.
So let's rein this back a little bit. Back to the 50 Shades of Grey. First of all, Jamie Dornan, thank you. I read the books. He's not running for president, and if he was, we probably would be asking different questions. Number two, clearly this congressman never read the 3 books because those were consenting adults. In fact, the first couple scenes in the book is them signing a contract where they consent to everything that's going to happen afterwards. That is not what Trump did, and that's not what he admitted to doing. And number 2, then another Trump supporter brought in Beyonce into the mix and said that person called out Hillary Clinton, saying she's a hypocrite. How dare she like Beyonce's formation, yet she is calling Trump's comments horrific.
What?
Honestly, I just want to rip up this paper. What does one thing have to do with another? First of all, Beyonce is a married woman who writes sexual songs about her and her consenting husband. And number 2, Formation is a song about African-American empowerment. What the hell does that have to do with what Trump said?
This makes me so mad.
Well,
where are people's brains?
Here's the problem. These Trump supporters that are going on television to defend him on newscasts have to come up with something because they're in defense of Trump. So they're going to try to reach out and find any little thing they can, but in all honesty, it's just making them sound stupid.
But the fact that a congressman tweeted this is really troubling.
Well,
Did he get fired? Because
he was a former congressman.
Oh, former.
But the author of 50 Shades of Grey did see it and tweeted back. I think we have the image right here for you.
Yes, he said the word P does not appear, or she said, sorry, the word P does not appear in 50 Shades of Grey. Of course, this was written by a woman. That was too good. And it's fiction. You know, fiction, hashtag learn the difference, and hashtag grow up.
Yep. I just can't. I can't get over this. This is like we're a country of all these adults saying that this man who's running for president is going to be a role model for all of our children is allowed to say, I'm going to grab women by their body parts, and oh yeah, because I'm so famous, you get away with it.
And not only using the excuse that it was locker room talk, they're also using the excuse that, oh, this happened 10 years ago, and
he's a changed man.
And yet he's not. This is different if Trump was 10 years old and now he's a 30
he was a very well-established grown adult.
Don't tell me, tell the camera.
He was 60.
Adult, grown a man.
And ran successful businesses, is an adult, had well-developed, informed opinions about the world.
What hurts me is that he has daughters.
I know a wife.
Well, I know a wife, but I never ever want to imagine or envision my own father speaking this way.
Did you hear it
Yes.
in the Howard Stern show? He talked about his daughter as like being
hot?
voluptuous and hot, and Howard Stern was like, "Can I get with her?" And I think he was like, "Yeah, sure." If she
Can I call her a
something
piece
like,
of ass? And Trump
That's
said yes. And in
bad.
another
That's-
Howard Stern interview, when his daughter was a little older, Howard Stern was like, "You're a what's it called? I forgot the word, but a predator. You're a sexual predator."
Oh, yeah.
And Trump laughed and said, "Yes, that's true."
That's disgusting.
But also, let's mention one of Trump's ex-wives, and he's had like what, 3? One of Trump's ex-wives accused him in court of rape,
yeah.
and there's this false thing going around that she retracted that statement later. No, she didn't. She said that they were having an argument, and he went in and grabbed her by the hair and raped her. And then later, after Trump basically allegedly bullied her, she said, "This is what I'm going to say about it. As a woman, I felt violated. That night, he did not have sex with me the way he had had sex with me before as my husband. He did it in a way that I felt violated." So there is a pattern here.
And a lot of people have spoken out just about him and this whole bus situation in general.
Yeah.
Who I really I can't stop thinking about is Billy Bush, because new developments keep happening every single day.
Yeah.
And I want to know, do you think, because Billy Bush, it sounds like they are strategizing his exit right now. I feel like it's a big contract,
Right.
and they can't just say you're fired. They have to like give him a whole bunch of money to break his contract.
He's under contract. He just
It's
signed
just
the
amazing
contract.
that NBC has higher standards than America.
I was about to say that. If
Whoa.
Billy Bush.
Whoa, let's really.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
NBC has higher standards than America.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
but I think that's because of their audience. So if Trump got elected
America
as
is the
president, do you
audience.
Yeah,
think,
America is the audience.
America, I
but
feel like
then if Trump is elected, don't you think that Billy Bush would then be reinstated at his job? Because
Sadly, yes.
Really?
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to hate on the women that are supporting Trump. Like, honestly, I feel bad for these women because it raises the question, how have they been raised? What kind of men have they been around their whole lives that they think this is normal and common?
Like what kind of values were instilled in them? Yeah.
So my thing, I want to bring it back to Billy Bush for a second,
Sure.
because I want to know, if you were NBC, would you fire Billy Bush? Because I do want to say,
Initially, that wasn't the plan.
Yeah, I know that. But as all of us, we're all reporters. We've all interviewed somebody before. Pre-interview, this was pre-interview where this conversation went down. So
Right.
Billy Bush was in the bus with Trump before the interview, and he
who
hasn't
they're
yet got his
talking about.
soundbite. He hasn't yet got his soundbite.
Okay.
So I feel like if you're Donald Trump and I was interviewing you in the bus, if you were saying outlandish things, I would probably just agree with you, and I'd say, okay,
Because
okay,
you're
okay.
trying to, like, fit
because
in,
I haven't
like,
got my
oh, yeah.
soundbite with you yet, and I still need you to be on my side to
Yes.
get the soundbite for the outlet that I work with. However, when it got disgusting is when he left the bus and he was like, "Give the Trump a hug."
I agree. I totally agree. You know what? Oh, thank you for arguing that point. Just to play devil's advocate, I think you're right. Often when we're going to do interviews, sometimes you're dealing with really egotistical celebrities, and you kind of just have to pretend that you're their
agree.
friend because it's your job.
And you also need to get the soundbite for
Right.
your
what
job.
He
That's your
didn't
job.
need to do was that moment, and we have it on tape where they come out of the bus,
But-
and he's like, "Hey, why don't you give Trump a big hug and a kiss, and why don't you give it to little Billy over here?"
Is that enough
was
to
crossing the
fire a
line.
man who's worked for that company for over 10 years, though?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think it's just everyone's drawing a line in the sand, and that was NBC's way of saying we do not
Support,
we don't support Trump. You know, we're doing what we can to send out this message that what Trump did is not okay, and their affiliation with Billy Bush was what they have to make an
decision,
example.
yeah.
A statement,
of,
at least.
yeah, like they don't want to be associated with this bad behavior. So right now, Billy Bush is kind of the scapegoat.
Which
Exactly.
sucks because there's nowhere to go.
There's
he
nowhere to
literally,
go.
like, he's
Maybe
at
Fox,
the top.
actually.
Yeah, but there's not even a show formatted like what he's done for the last 10 years on Fox, I don't believe.
Right.
I think
And
it's
he
going to
wasn't-
take some work.
Yeah.
It's going to take some work.
Because-
It happened.
And a lot
to-
of apologizing, which he started
He-
to do. They weren't going to fire him immediately. The very day that video was released, which was on a Friday, he immediately released an official apology.
And
Over
his
the
apology
weekend,
was like nicer and seemed more sincere than Donald Trump's.
agreed. And then throughout the weekend, the Facebook page, his Facebook page, and the show's Facebook page got flooded with so much criticism from women who are
Well, the haters
base
are the
audience.
loudest as
The
well.
haters
Even
are
if there's not a huge amount of them, they're going to make a lot of noise.
I don't think, look, I don't know the guy, and you can't judge a person by
Something
one
he
sound
said,
bite.
yeah.
I will judge Trump because there's a lot of sound bites for decades.
And now
but
evidence and this and that.
I'm not going to
Actions,
decide.
not just talking anymore. People are coming
Exactly.
forward and saying, you know, this isn't just locker room talk. This is now locker room action.
I feel
Right.
like you demonstrate character at a young age. You demonstrate character throughout your life, and I think his character, there's a pattern.
Right.
It's not just like, oh, it was a locker room talk. And guys can be really dirty, and guys can say things. But I think there's like the vulgar way, and there's like just the innocent, like, oh, that girl's hot, like. There's just different ways, and Trump has always had this pattern of being extremely offensive.
As a liberated woman, when I've been alone in a room with my females, I might look at a hot man and say a lot of vulgar things coming out of my mouth.
But you're not running for president.
And I'm not running for president. Lord, imagine if I was. Oh my God.
You get my vote.
Thank you. Thanks, Lauren. That's one. But it wasn't the part where he's saying, oh, she's hot, etc. It's the part where he's saying, I don't wait for consent.
Yeah.
And also, when you have my status, when you have wealth and celebrity, you can do whatever you want. Grab them by the peen.
No,
That's
you
wrong.
can't.
No, you can't. And so, of course, I loved during the second debate when Anderson Cooper was railing at him. Railing? Was that the wrong metaphor to use here?
Yeah, I know.
We've both done it once today.
I know, we've both done it once. And was basically saying, so you have assaulted women? And Trump said, nope.
No.
What I was saying was just talk. I haven't done the things that I claimed I had done. And I knew it's going to be a matter of seconds before a bunch of women come up and say, oh, you did it to me.
It just upsets me that the conversation it's just lewd talk. It's like, that's not what this is about. I'm not mad because he used the P word. I say far worse, but I don't ever threaten to assault someone or make advances on someone who doesn't want my advances.
Or try to get someone fired because she doesn't like you back, like it has now been proven Trump did to Nancy O'Dell, the woman that they're talking about in that video. He tried to fire her after.
And we live in such a culture where, rape and sexual assault there's just like this, it's in this gray area where girls are not standing up for themselves, and yet we have the guy that's running for office saying that, yes, he can do whatever he wants just because he's in power. No, you can't. Doesn't matter what your status level is, you cannot do that to girls.
My problem is, even if this is what he's like behind closed doors, he was not in the setting to do so. Like, if he wanted to talk with this, he needs to make sure he's with his best friend in his own house, at his own dining room, and it's the two of them. He's literally mic'd about to go on air.
You don't chat where you
on
work.
an interview of a television show that's all being filmed. Like, he's literally mic'd. I don't care if the camera's not rolling.
But a lot of men with power make that mistake. Look, I used to work, I don't know if I've told you guys this before in another video, I worked at a network before, and I stopped working at the network when my boss put his hands on my knee, and he was a married man with kids and I'd met his wife, and he put his hand on my knee and tried to kiss me and basically told me, you can only continue working if we start an affair.
What?
Yeah. I was also working with Clevver at the time. I remember I came in the next day and someone that works here saw me crying in the elevator, and they were like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm really traumatized. And I blamed myself. I was like, what did I just do? And that was literally the end of my contract with this network. This happens a lot. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I actually called NPR. They were talking about this on the radio, and they were like, if you have a story, when the whole Fox thing happened, and I called in and I said my story. So
like
stuff
women
happens.
It's just this culture, like you were saying, of like women being told, oh, it's because you dressed inappropriately, or it's your fault, you're asking for it, or oh, you drank too much. Like this culture of men feeling like they can take what they want. Trump is the epitome of that, and that is just a terrible. It is a scary thought that he is about to be a man in power.
I am just so happy that Michelle Obama gave this speech. Did you guys hear it? It was very empowering.
It was
and she
amazing.
Was pissed.
Yep.
She's so great.
And
2020.
Eloquently pissed.
I know.
Also, though, for you, it ended in you losing your job, not that man losing his job.
Exactly.
That is a great point.
So,
exactly.
like, what?
And you know what? I had no evidence of it. I didn't think to record the meeting, And so a lot of Trump supporters are saying, hey, these are all allegations. No one can prove it. You're right.
It's just talk.
The woman that at the time was in her 40s that he groped allegedly on a plane, she wasn't recording it. We're not going to have evidence that it happened. We also don't have evidence that it didn't happen. What we do do have is there's now a lot of numbers. This isn't one person that claims something. When it happened to Bill Cosby, we didn't believe it the first time, but after 17 women claimed it, we started believing it.
And we saw the pattern again.
We saw the pattern.
All right, heated discussion. We have to end it. But
and Bill Clinton is not running for president. And also, if Trump is going to defend himself by saying, "Oh, this happened 10 years ago," well, the Clinton thing happened 20 years ago.
Yep, exactly. Boom. Drop the pen.
Sorry.
That's
now
where we end. Sorry, Miriam. Let her get that out. Now you get out what you're feeling in the comment section below. We want to hear it.
Or
I know
tweet us.
she'll be reading it. She'll reply. Get her
real
heated
riled
up. You guys, thanks for watching. And then you can keep watching just on a different video. So click over to the left to find out where in the heck YouTuber Twames disappeared to.
And what the F is cuffing season? So click to the right to find out.